Alright, Shalom, it's your brother Shamar from the Phoenix camp. With that being said, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWAHSHI, BAHASHAM, QUADASH. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the brothers that are doing this work in truth, sincerity. I'm just going to jump right into the scripture to Psalm 90 and 12. It says, "So teach us to number our days, that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom." So right there it says, teach us to number our days, man. So that goes with having a sense of urgency, man, because we have to realize that time is moving fast. It's only self-evident if you look at the things that are going on in the news and around the world. Yeah, time is moving quickly. The Lord is speeding things up. So that window of opportunity for you to do the work, and that window of opportunity for you to absorb yourself with this knowledge, wisdom, understanding, these scriptures, is cutting short, man. So that's why we have to number our days. Therefore, we have to move with a sense of urgency. I'm going to read that back again. It says, "So teach us to number our days, that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom." That we may apply our hearts unto wisdom, our minds, man. See what that word apply is: to gain a heart of wisdom. To gain, man, because going back to knowledge of wisdom shall be a stability to our times, man. And the only way that's going to be made possible for us to have that knowledge of wisdom to be the stability of times, that we move with a sense of urgency and getting to this truth and doing this work, man. The window of opportunity, that grace period, that window of grace, the Lord's going to shut that down pretty soon. That famine of the word is coming, calamity is coming, famine's coming, uprising of the people's coming. All of that's already here. The microchip, it's already here. All the chess pieces are set into place. So the game has to be played out, man. But the thing about it, these days are gonna move very quickly. Instead, I'm gonna get Romans 13:11, man. This is Romans 13:11. And it says, in that knowing the time, that now, and knowing the time, man. Knowing the time, knowing the present and current condition of this world and all the things that are happening. That's how we know the time, man. Measuring the time diligently, and knowing the time, that now is high time, and now it's high time. It's the highest point of the clock where things need to be done to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than we believe. And we're only going to get into that salvation by going through much hell, man. By going through much affliction. So we have to prepare our minds, our hearts, for the things that are coming. The night is far spent. The day is at hand. That day, the day of the Lord, the day of great judgment, the day where the culmination of all the things that brothers in the highways and hedges have been talking about is going to, according to the scriptures, is going to come to pass. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light. Time to gear up, man. Going back to the Ephesians, that spiritual armor. Let us walk honestly as in the day, not riding in drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness, not in strife and envy, but put ye on the Lord YAHAWAHSHI, and make not provision for the flesh, but for the lust thereof, man. So that carnal mind spirit, man, we have to get rid of it to the best of our ability, man, because, and we have to move with sense of urgency in the spirit, man. That's what it is. And I'm going to get James 4:14, just a real quick lesson. It's a lot. James 4:14. And it says, whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow. Why? Because the days are moving with a very great sense of urgency. We don't know what the Lord's going to bring tomorrow. What the Lord's going to put in what kind of spirit the Lord's going to put in Esau, Edom, to move upon you, Jakes, man. For what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time and then vanishes away. So our time here is short, man. Therefore, we have to take advantage to the grace that's given to us on a daily basis, man. We got to move with a sense of urgency. For that ye ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live and do this or that. But now ye rejoice in your boastings, also rejoicing is evil. If the Lord will, man, so Lord willing, that's what brothers always say, Lord willing, because it's all up to the Lord, man. It's all up to His time clock, His timetable. Therefore, to him that knows to do good and doeth it not, to him it is sin. So you got obligations that you have to fulfill to the Most High, man, and being a man of the Lord and doing His work, and you slack on paying that promise back, that's evil, man. That's sin. So now is the time to move with a sense of urgency, man. You know, yeah, and these are good scriptures to think about and to encourage you, man, to get yourself on that higher level, man. Because we all need to level up. We all need to grow in this thing, man. The spirit of quickness. So that's why we got to get into these scriptures. And with that, I'm going to eat Ephesians 5 and 14. Ephesians 5 and 14 says, so wherefore he saith, awake, thou sleepest. Like I started 15. See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. So circumspectly, let's get that word circumspectly. Carefully, man. So our actions, our thoughts, and our words, our speech, it has to be, what's that again? Carefully. We have to be chosen carefully. We have to walk carefully, not as fools, but as wise, man. So we got to use wisdom in our steps. We got to use wisdom in our actions. Verse 16, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Redeeming the time, man. Let's get that word redeeming. This is to redeem by payment or price, to recover from the power of another, to buy up for oneself or to one's to use, to make wise and sacred use of every opportunity for doing good. That's what it is, man. So that zeal and well-doing, as it were, the purchase money by which we make time on our own, man. So, we all heard that saying, time is money. Yes, and that's true, man. And we got to spend our spiritual money, the money that the Lord gave us, that spiritual money the Lord gave us to increase, man. You don't want to hide your talent in a napkin, man. The Lord's going to expect He's going to expect what He gave you back was more, man. So redeeming the time. I'm gonna get that definition again. To make wise and sacred use of every opportunity for doing good, man. And so that's what we got to do. So that zeal and well-doing, are as it were the purchase money by which we make the time on our own, man. So our free time, man, our downtime, the time when we're not being a slave to Esau. We gotta use our time carefully, man. We can't let your time be spent up by folly, the folly of this world, or the pursuit of the lust of this world, man. We gotta walk more carefully in the spirit. We gotta move with a sense of urgency, man. With that, I'm gonna get 1 Corinthians 7 and 29, man. It's a real quick lesson. This is 1 Corinthians 7 and 29. And it says, but this I say, brethren, the time is short. And it is short, man. It remains that both that had wives be as though they had none. So, the point of the scripture is that the time is short. And Paul said, remain that those that have wives, but that both they that have wives be as though they had none, man. So, it's not like, it's not like our commitment to your family commitments and your worldly obligations, they all got to take a backseat to this truth, and that's just the way it is, man. Brothers know that, man. Brothers know that when they come into the truth, that all their other obligations and all their pursuits and all the other things that they had going on for themselves, they all got to take a backseat to this truth. They all got to take a backseat to the work of the Lord. And I'm gonna read that back again. But this I say, brethren, that the time is short. The time is short, man. That's the point of this world. And they that, in verse 30, and they that weep as though they weep not, and they that rejoice as though they rejoice not, and they that buy as though they possess not. Hey, so you gotta keep moving forward, man. You gotta move forward. You gotta have that sense of urgency. You gotta commit yourself to this work. And that they that use this world is not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passes away. And that's another key right there. The fashion of this world passes away. Let's get another word for fashion. The form and everything in it is going to pass away, man. Let's get that word fashion in the Strongs. The habitus as comprising everything in a person, which strikes the senses and figure it, bearing discourse, actions, manner of life, man. So all the manner of life, all the way that we're living, it's going to be gone, man. It's done with. It's over with. You should have it in your mentality that everything's already over with. There's nothing else. There's no other pursuit to go for. You know, there's no future plans to make, because there is no future for this world. Like it says right there, for the fashion of this world passes away. So the mentality of everything's over with is a mentality. You know, it's a good mentality we have. That keeps you fully invested in this truth and in this work, man. I'm going to go verse 32. It says, but I will have you without carefulness. He that is unmarried cares for things that belong to the Lord, how they may please the Lord. That's why he says, though they have wives, though they have none, man. So you got to be as you are unmarried. So your priority, your obligations have to be towards how you may please the Lord. And everything else has to take a back seat. Everything else has to be on that back burner. But he that is married cares for the things that are of the world, how he may please his wife, man. So you gotta have a different mind state than the people out here. Your mind state should be a sense of urgency towards this work and towards this truth, man. And that's gonna be one of the characteristics of the elect. With that, I'm gonna get 2 Ephesians 1:14. I'll close it out on that. Just a real quick lesson. Salakia. Zephaniah, man. I don't know what I was thinking. Salakia. Zephaniah 1:14. Zephaniah 1:14 says, the great day of the Lord is near. It is near and it hasteth. Let's get that word hasteth, man. It hurries greatly. The great day of the Lord is near. It is near and hurries greatly. Even the voice, let's get that word voice. Even the noise of the day of the Lord. What's the noise of the day of the Lord? All the missiles, everything that goes with it, all the calamity, the cries of death and destruction of the day of the Lord is near, man. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly. Hey, so right there it is, man. The great day of the Lord is near. It is near and it hastens or hurries greatly, man. So, that's why we have to move in a sense of urgency in the times that we're living in, man. Our obligations first and foremost should be to the quickening and the pursuing and the progressing of this work, man. And that was just a real quick lesson. Most High willing, I hope it was edifying. That one say, HALAL, YAHAWAHSHI. All praise, honor, glory to YAHWAHSHI. You brothers keep on pushing, man. Keep move with a sense of urgency. That one say, Shalom.